What a magical place. Oh, it's so cool. I hear a cat fight. Gangster cats. If there was like a modern comparison to just accidentally stepping into the Garden of Eden, I think this is it. Just more, maybe the story on King Nimrod throwing Abraham into the water, and just all the details about this place.
Absolutely, let's wrap that up. So
you've got the mosque over there. We're definitely gonna get army knocking on the window. I'm in the Garden of Eden over here. Technically, we are very close to Babylon. This looks like a cool place to hang out. Look at this. It's nice and cool in here. It's really cold compared to where I just was. Oh, I think I found the pond. So this was once a fire, and the embers turned into fish. Here's the fish. They're speaking Arabic. What a magical place. Oh, it's so cool. Guys, I didn't think it was gonna be this nice. I thought it was gonna be like covered in dust, surrounded by like an old building, you know? I got Donald Trump perspective, don't I? It's very slippery here. Assalamu alaikum. Salam. Everybody's speaking Arabic here. So far. I guess a lot of Iraqis come here, maybe? They got the perfect music playing. This is like the kind of music you'd expect over the sacred pond of fish, right? Guys, what do you say we have a shisha and talk to ChatGPT right next to the sacred pond of fish? I hear a cat fight. Damn, you got some gangster cats. The cat police just showed up. Look, somebody's catching something in there. This thing goes all the way around, eh? All the way around. Oh, damn. So this sacred pond goes into another
Göl
pond.
içerisine çöp atmayınız. Dergah Balıklıgöl alanında lütfen çimlere basmayıp yayalara ayrılan yolları kullanınız. Çiçek ve gülleri unuttunuz. Herhangi bir sorunla karşılaştığınızda alandaki görevlilere veya turizm danışma bürosuna başvurunuz. Teşekkür ederiz.
Lütfen dikkat. Sayın ziyaretçilerimiz, bu alanda kokartlı rehberler dışında herhangi bir kurum adı altında rehberlik yapmak isteyen kişilere itibar etmeyiniz.
That's crazy. We'll come check out the rest of it after. Maybe it is time for a quick shisha. Fish. Guys, it goes all the way around these cafes. It goes down that way. It goes into there. This is the main pond over here, I believe. Or is that the main pond? I'm not sure. Let's ask ChatGPT.
Kendi baba kendine karışacak yani. Hep güzel. Onu daha yaptı bir baba.
Damn. We got some questions for ChatGPT right now. In a few minutes, let's just settle down. If there was like a modern comparison to just accidentally stepping into the Garden of Eden, I think this is it. I think, you know, like, can somebody tell me somewhere better? I mean, you literally had a prophet thrown right here who turned fire into water and amber into fish. Find me a better place. I'm gonna sit right here. Yeah. Yeah, the lighting's a little bit better. This is crazy. The pond's pretty big here. Was it smaller and then expanded, or was it always this big?
Yeah, so that pond definitely has a bit of a history of its own. It actually was likely smaller originally and has been expanded or at least reshaped over time. Over the centuries, they've done some renovations and improvements around the Balıklıgöl area to make it more of a significant pilgrimage and tourist site. So yeah, what you're seeing now is probably a bit larger and more maintained than it might have been way back in the day. It's definitely been given a bit of a glow up over the years.
So which pond would be the original? The one that's surrounding all the cafes with the loop going around the cafes, or is it the one right next to the mosque?
Yeah, absolutely. So the original historic pond is the one right next to the mosque. That's the true core of the sacred site, the one tied directly to the Abraham legend. The area that loops around with the cafes and all that, that's more of the expanded part that was developed later on to accommodate visitors and just kind of make it a more welcoming space. But the heart of it all, historically speaking, is that pond right by the mosque. So that's your original sacred centerpiece.
Okay, so we'll go there and we'll ask her some questions. I got some deep questions, but first we're gonna enjoy here and not annoy everybody with ChatGPT's noise. Yeah, so I went to pay the bill and he didn't speak any English, obviously. He goes, "Do you speak Arabic?" So, we're in that part of Turkey now, so business owners know Arabic, and most of the wait staff did. So, yeah, cool to see, because we're past Gaziantep, so now we're like very close to Iraq. A lot of Iraqis come here. There's a lot of Arabic speakers. We're only 5 hours away from the border, and I was doing some research apparently, and this is debated because there's 3 different variations of this story or myth, but Noah's Ark landed when the flood finished. It landed on a mountain that's right next to the border we're going to, and it's not clear whether we can go to the summit of the mountain. We'll definitely be able to see it, but the thing is, it's right next to the Iraqi and Syrian borders, and there's been a lot of conflict. Actually, that mountain's been hit, and a lot of the old sites that used to be there used to be markets. There's a lot that went on. There was festivities that happened every year to celebrate Noah's landing there. So a lot of it's gone now. It's just rubble, and it's not clear whether you can actually go to the summit of the mountain, but we will go and take a look at it. And that's apparently one of the 3 places where it is believed to have landed, depending what culture or religion you are from. Some Christians believe it's there. Some Christians believe it's another mountain. We'll go more over the specifics and what options there are, what different locations it's believed to have landed. But most Muslims and Eastern Christians believe that it landed at Mount Kudi. So this is the mountain that's next to the border. The other 2 mountains are, one's in Mount Nisr in the Zagros region. So the Zagros mountain line crosses through Turkey, Iraq, and Iran. So it crosses for 3 countries. It's not clear on Google where exactly it is because it wouldn't come up on Google when I searched it. And the other location is Mount Ararat, A-R-A-R-A-T. And that's the 3rd place, which Western Christians, Jews believe. Actually, no, sorry, the Jewish people might also believe it was in the Zagros mountain region, but not Mount Kudi. So there's some speculation on which mountain it was. A lot of people believe it's this one, that one. Look, everybody's gonna have their own opinion, and I respect your opinion. I just found out about this today, so I don't really have an opinion on this. And please don't make the comments like somewhere to argue about it. Nobody wants to hear it. And like, if you believe it's one mountain, when we do this, please just be respectful, you know? I'm being respectful by showing all 3 options that exist. I'm not, obviously my preference would be this one because it's right next to my hometown, right? So I'm not gonna go and like trash on the other options. I'm gonna say what they are, and it's educational, you know? There's probably gonna still be comments, you know how people are. Yeah. So that's really cool. I never knew about that. Like, I've passed that mountain at least 10, 12 times. Never knew about it at all. That is insane. And if you do go to the summit, if you're able to get up there, apparently ChatGPT says it's all security. It's closed off by military. You can't get up there. The gendarmerie, the gendarme, the military police of Turkey, they have checkpoints. It's off limits because of, well, I guess it has range. It's been a target before, so you're absolutely not allowed up there, according to ChatGPT. Now, there's a Google listing that says it exists, and there's photos of it. So I don't know, maybe people just go up to it and look at it from the bottom. But before, the stories are incredible. We'll get more into it when we get there. A lot of it's ruined now, unfortunately. But there are like rocks and markings and old areas where you can see where they believe the ark, the ship, the vessel landed. And that's pretty cool. So this is the original pond that is believed to have turned to water after Prophet Abraham was thrown in by King Nimrod into the fire, and then the amber turned into fishes. So this is the exact pond. The pond next to the cafe we're at, that's an extension. It did not exist in ancient times. It only started existing recently for them to accommodate all the tourists and people coming here and just to make the place nicer. But it's beautiful. This is the old mosque here. And we're gonna ask ChatGPT how this came to be, how, you know, obviously there was, through time, the Muslim population made their way into this region, and I guess that's how the mosque became the site at a biblical location that is shared by 3 monotheistic religions, right? And there's other ones in Mosul. There's a lot like this. There's the burial place of Prophet Jonah and the whale. Yeah, so he's apparently buried in Mosul. So we'll go to that place, also a mosque. But here's the story with that one. Man, I keep saying we're gonna get to these, but I'm talking now. That one was actually blown up by ISIS because they didn't like the fact that it used to be a church before it became a mosque, and that it was on an elevated surface. So they made up some stupid reason why they should destroy it. But the site is still there. It's kind of being fixed up now for tourists, like it's being rebuilt in a way. You could go and stand above it. I think they have like a glass floor or something, but there's a way to see it, and they're trying to preserve it as much as they can. But yeah, so let's get into this so we can get out of here and go check out the top of the castle with the fortified walls up there. So here, I have some questions here. Okay, so for the pond of the sacred fish, in respect to the 3 monotheistic religions, what are the different beliefs to this? Do people from Christian and Jewish faith pilgrimage here? Can you just give me like all the specifics on this place?
Absolutely. The pond of the sacred fish in Urfa, known as Balıklıgöl.
Hold on. We're gonna, one sec. We're gonna redo this because there's people like playing with squeaky toys here. Let's go over there where it's quiet. All right, you want to repeat that?
Absolutely. So, in a nutshell, the Jewish tradition never really settled on Mount Hudi as the ox resting place.
No. We're talking about the pond of the sacred fish. Can you just give us more specifics on how the 3 different monotheistic religions revere this place, if it's a site of pilgrimage for either of them? Just more, maybe the story on King Nimrod throwing Abraham into the water, and just all the details about this place.
Absolutely. Let's dive back into that pond of sacred fish. So this spot, Balıklıgöl in Şanlıurfa, is indeed revered by all 3 monotheistic traditions in slightly different ways. In Islamic tradition, it's a very well-known sacred site. The story goes that King Nimrod, or Nimrod, wanted to have the prophet Ibrahim, executed because of his monotheistic beliefs. He was catapulted into a great fire from this spot, but by God's miracle, the fire turned into water and the burning logs turned into fish. So now the fish in the pond are considered sacred and no one is allowed to catch or eat them. It's definitely a site of pilgrimage for Muslims who come to pay their respects to Abraham and see this miraculous place. For Christians, especially those in the Syriac tradition, Abraham is also a revered figure, and the site is seen as a place of biblical heritage. While it's more prominent in Islamic tradition, Christians in the region also recognize it as a part of the Abrahamic story. For Jews, while it's not a major site of pilgrimage, Abraham is of course the patriarch of Judaism as well. The story of Abraham's trial by fire is more elaborated in Islamic and local traditions, but Jewish visitors still recognize this as a part of the broader Abrahamic landscape. So it's a unique place where all 3 faiths intersect, even though it's especially cherished in the Islamic world.
Yeah, what was the last thing you were saying there?
Yeah, sure. I was just wrapping up by saying that the pond's fish are considered completely sacred in that tradition. Basically, no one's supposed to catch or eat them because they're tied to that miraculous story of Abraham. It's kind of a symbol of the whole site's sacredness. So that's the bit I was finishing up with.
Okay, cool. So if the Jews don't believe in the story of Abraham being thrown into the fire, why do they come here?
Yeah, great question. So even though the specific story of Abraham being thrown into the fire and the whole miraculous pond transformation isn't part of Jewish tradition, Abraham is still a hugely important figure in Judaism. I mean, he's the patriarch, right? The father of the whole tradition. So Jewish visitors might come to the area just out of reverence for Abraham as a key ancestral figure and to connect with that broader Abrahamic heritage. So
yeah, but my point is why? Like, what do they believe happened here? Do they believe he was born here? What are the beliefs going on? We lost her, but we're gonna need an answer on that one. Yeah, so do you want to finish that? What beliefs do the Jews have that about Abraham and this location, and specifically, do they believe he was born here? What's the connection to that religion and this location when it comes to Abraham?
Absolutely, let's wrap that up. So, for Judaism, there isn't actually a specific belief that ties Abraham directly to this particular location in Urfa. In Jewish tradition, Abraham's origins are generally associated with the broader region of Mesopotamia, places like Ur of the Chaldeans. But there's no traditional Jewish narrative specifically linking him to being born in Urfa or having that particular fire ordeal here. So basically, Jewish visitors might still come to the area out of a general reverence for Abraham as a patriarch, but there's no specific Jewish tradition that says he was born there or that this particular miracle happened here. It's more of a recognition of the broader Abrahamic heritage rather than a direct Jewish link to this exact spot.
Would it just be like Iraqi Jews that come here, I guess?
Yeah, you've got the idea. It's not a major Jewish pilgrimage site, so you're not going to see a lot of Jewish visitors coming specifically for that reason. If there are Jewish visitors, they might be more local, like Iraqi Jews or people from the region who just have a cultural or historical interest in Abraham as a patriarch. But yeah, overall, it's not a common Jewish pilgrimage destination. It's more about the local or regional connection.
Cool. That's a pretty good rundown on what went down here and how the different religions view this place. And this is pretty cool. It goes on like pretty far. This is definitely like an extension here, but it's beautifully done. You've got more restaurants and cafes up here. You've got the mosque over there that you can enter. You've got here, look at this little water barrel. What's this called again? It's like elementary school when I learned about this. But this creates electricity. This is pushed by the water. The water stream pushes this and it spins a turbine, and the turbine connects to brass copper. It's like an alternator and it creates electricity. So that actually is creating power right now. I know that because there's wires right there. You got fishies. Hopefully the fish don't get killed by the water turbine. And it's time to go up to the fortified walls. I don't know if you can get inside, but we're gonna try, and then that's it. And then I don't really know what's next. We're 5 hours from the border. We can hit that today if we want, but we're not because it's really unsafe to be sleeping around there. And if it's not unsafe, we're definitely gonna get army knocking on the window if we don't find somewhere like in a town, and the towns are very small. So I don't know what the plan is here. We're just gonna have to, unless we get a hotel. I just don't know the chances of doing that or finding a good one. But if we do get out there, we're kind of forced to find one, right? So yeah, let's go into this mosque real quick because you can go into this section without having to take your shoes off. So we're gonna do that and just check it out real quick. Let's get some history on the mosque. You want to give me some history on the mosque here?
Absolutely. Let's dive into the history of the mosque of Balıklıgöl. So the mosque right by the sacred pond is called the Halil-ur-Rahman Mosque. It's a pretty iconic spot in Şanlıurfa. The mosque was originally built in the 13th century during the Ayyubid period. The Ayyubids, by the way, were the dynasty founded by Saladin, and they had control over this region for quite some time. The mosque is named Halil-ur-Rahman, which basically means friend of the merciful, a title referring to Abraham Ibrahim as the friend of God. What's really cool is that the mosque is part of a larger complex that includes the courtyard around the pond, making the whole area a kind of spiritual and historical hub. Over the centuries, it's been renovated and maintained, so it's got this really rich layered history. So in a nutshell, the Halil Mosque is a 13th century Ayyubid mosque that kind of anchors the whole sacred area around the pond.
Very cool. Well, we made it to Urfa, and the car is probably getting all sorts of looks, just the way I am right now with the kids staring at me right here. Yo, talk about like Garden of Eden vibes here. It's nice. It's nice to be able to talk to camera and nobody around me has a clue what I'm saying. I wonder what kind of fish they are. All right, last question. We're running dangerously low on memory here. What kind of fish are in this pond?
The fish in Balıklıgöl are mostly a type of carp. Specifically, they're a variety of Nile tilapia or carp that have been living there for centuries. Locals sometimes call them sacred carp or sacred fish. They're considered protected and it's believed to be bad luck to harm them. So they're just swimming around, living their best life in that pond. It's all part of the legend and the charm of the place.
Would you look at that? The fish are living their best life. So am I. So am I. I'm in the Garden of Eden over here. Technically, we are very close to Babylon. And it's historically accurate to kind of try and play on that. Oh man, it's wonderful here. There's no odd smells, there's nothing, you know, it's just beautiful. And usually you come to places like this in the Middle East and there's always like that funky smell that ruins it. So it's kind of nice that we don't have that. Trust me, like it's annoying enough that I gotta mention it. All right, let's go to the fortified walls. When I took that little break at the cafe, I was like, when I was doing that research on the mountain of Noah's Ark, then I started like, oh, there's another mountain, and the Zagros mountain line is full, like I'm telling you, full of historic ancient sites, and we're definitely going. We're taking a trip to Iran, and we're checking it out. Like, how could you not, you know? Like, it's insane the things we'll see there. And we're so close to it all. Like, we're like anywhere from 1 to 7 hour drive from like ancient places. It just doesn't make sense to not go see them, you know? Look at this view. Kids are very into vloggers in these countries, and like they're going crazy. They're just all like pushing and shoving each other. Like, look at this guy, holding the camera to his face. So I'm getting all sorts of looks right now. Everybody's just like completely staring at me. Everywhere I look. Anybody who catches sight of me holding this camera, I don't know, have I like stopped passing as an Arab guy? A lot of people don't think I speak Arabic. You know, it'd be crazy if we took Noah's shark to Noah's Ark landing place. I think that would be pretty epic. If that car gets there, that's pretty, I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. We named it Noah's Shark, and next thing you know, we figure out that where we're going has a mountain where Noah's Ark supposedly landed. So, you know, I think it's fitting we take it there. Rest in peace. What a beautiful place. Like I was not expecting this, and it's so close to Iraq. Like, I'm annoyed that I haven't been here sooner, you know, but it makes it kind of cool that I was able to come and see this. It's like a really good way to wrap up this drive, this part of the journey. Like, what a nice place to be, like the kind of like the final last stop. Man, this is worth it. I'm not even bummed out about missing out on the mountain of the gods or whatever. Just trying to figure out how to get out of here. The way we came in, yeah, that way. Man, the looks I was getting walking out there. Check out all the cats. There's kids and cats everywhere. Jeez, look at the kittens. Look how small she is. Hello. Oh, Dad, oh, die. Die. She's like, why are you guys running? Come here, come here. No? I don't have time for this. All right, time to get up this thing and get out of here. It's crazy how much history there is in one spot, and it's not the same history. Like, there's just so much that went on here. I was never really into history. I don't sit around and like look things up unless I find them interesting, you know? Am I getting old? Probably. I thought that was a ventilation shaft for the village under us, but just a little cave.